I just wait until it comes up here, see what's happened. There we are, it says we're live. Now you can only see me today because Violet's not feeling great. And if she feels in any way with any energy, she's going to be making ready for her brother coming. So today I'm really happy to be able to say I've got a surprise guest, and it's Anne Lorver. Say hello, Anne.
Hello, everyone.
There you go. So I am the mad scientist. I'm Mad Frankie. Violet Igor is off somewhere. Anne Igor is here in the background. And we make the mad scientists. There we are. So Anne's just going to be on audio, and she'll be looking at the chat for me to tell me what's going on. So hello to everybody. Hi, Mariah. Hi, Belinda. And hello, Anne. So I've got a load of rubbish on my desk today, and some not quite so rubbishy. Just bits and bobs. I mean, there's this funny box with a bit that slides up and down, and I don't know why, but it was quite intriguing, so I've kept that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, if anything, at the moment. I might not do anything today, but it's there if I can think of anything to do with it. I don't mind the sound of avalanches. It happens all the time around here. I've been thinking, I've got some of those, what do you call them, magicals, and they usually come in a sort of tube thing. But I did get some of them with no tube because I bought them as individuals, you know, what they call open stock type thing. So I've got them here, and I've got no home. So I thought, so I put a bottom on it and a bit of rubber band off hairband around it to hold it in place. And then I can just slide these in till I know how high I want it. And I'll probably keep it fairly high, because then I can always add other things that might also fit in there. Like I've got all those in there. Is that every one of those? But I've also got the rusting powder, which, no, that doesn't fit. It was just a thought. Oh, here's a few more. Look. Magicals. 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 So that one's just at the top. So I can make a little top for it. Possibly something sort of like the one I've put on the bottom, and make that into take-off, put on top, so that then I've got a top for it as well. Now, if I can make it so that I can arrange some sort of hook arrangement of some kind, possibly with a bit of wire on the inside held down, and then that can loop over something like, well, for instance, if you've got a sorry, if you've got a little bulldog clip and you arrange so you've got a little loop that could hook over there, and I've got a bit of string hanging across the top of my desk, about 2 feet up from where it is here, so I can hang things up there then. So the piece of card I used for the other bit is this one. It's just white card, so that I can now make another one. But I need to make it a bit taller. So what I'll do, I'll cut this piece here. Let me get this a bit higher up so that I can see what I'm doing as well as everyone else. There we are. So if I make this one a bit taller, say about there. So what I'll do, you can see that this one's a bit serratey. But what I'll do is I'll cover that with something, but I'll cover the whole of the tube, you see, so that the whole tube will be in the same sort of colours. I've got various papers to do that kind of thing with. And then if I do the same with the top, and then I probably will put when I put a ring at the top, I might put a ring at the top because it's quite squishy. That would reinforce it a bit, I think. So I'll put that aside for now so I can see what I'm going to do with that. Right. Now, the other thing I wanted to do, you know, when you go to various food shops, we won't mention any names, but these days they're getting more and more likely to give you a than a plastic one. So I've got one here, which you may or may not know where it comes from. Oh, you may or may not know where it comes from. But I've also got one I got from our local chemists, like that. And they come with these folded bottoms, which are quite nice to be able to... Oh, hi, Jamie. Hi, Miriam. Hi, Liz. So that means that you've got a piece that you can either fold that way or that way or that way and end up with a pockety bit or something just a bit more firm to base things on. So, and the other thing I've got is this. And what that looks like to start with... Where's the others? I had a whole load of them. Maybe they're up at the back here. Or underneath. Oh, yes, they're underneath here. Here we are. This is what they look like to start with. And they're just boxes, you know, trays that go together like that. And like that. So then you get your tomatoes in it, right? That folds over and they put a plastic thingy on the outside. So that's your tomato box. So I open them out, keep the cardboardy bit. And then I've got something that I can make into things. I've made these into pockets before, and they come in a couple of sizes. You can get a deeper one, you get more tomatoes, and slightly less in the smaller one. And they both work quite well. But it doesn't have to be something already made. You can just use a piece of card, like, you know, a piece of A4, make something. But if you've got a box that would otherwise go into landfill, why not try and use it, you know? So let's see what we can make with this. I've just moved these ones out of the way. And I've also found, while I was looking around for paper to put on things, I found this cover. So you could use that, but it's a wee bit small for that. But then I've also got this slightly larger one here that could quite easily be used with this. Or you can use the bag itself just as the basic starting point. You know, you don't actually need a cover. You can turn this into a cover. So, and I've got a bit of extra plain brown paper there as well. So this one is a bit funny folded. I just want to smooth him out. That's better. There we are. Now he's nice. And I've got this box with some various papers that have just got beginning designs or just a background, you know, nothing particular in there, using stencils that have or haven't shown up all that well, or have and they're just plain, you know, like these. So I thought I could use those to colour things. And oh, I've even got some old paper there. This is really old paper, this. I made this, about 10 years or so years ago, it must be. Different papers, but these are the pink ones. Can't remember what I made them with, but you can see that there are flecks of different things in there, probably onion skins or something. Yeah, little bits in there. Feels a bit onion skinny. So I've got lots to choose from. So if I take that out of the way so we can see what we've got there. Now then. Oh, there's another lovely bit I could use to collage over things. Let's start with this bit. So I've got this old Boots bag. You know, this is where your medicines come in. So I opened it out and did some printing on it. So I've got various things on there. I cannot remember what I used, whether it was an actual stencil. Looks a bit like a stencil there, but I'm not sure what. Or it could just be the wrinkles. I think it's a stencil, that one. So let's put this one on here. I think it will just about fit with a little bit of overlap, but that's okay. I can do something else with that edge. So, where's my snippy whippy? I'm going to cut this out and cover the whole of that with it.
Fran, do you have all your lights on? They're saying it looks rather...
It does look a bit blue, doesn't it? I've got one light I haven't got on directly above me. Is that any better?
That is so much better. Let there be light.
Or I can turn that one round.
No, that's good. That's really good.
See, that's the one Violet doesn't like, because if I've got a gel plate down, it shines badly off it. So, but without the gel plate, it's not so bad.
Great.
Oh, I know what I haven't got. I haven't got my headphones on, have I? It's all echoey. Let's put that on. Where's the other end? There we are. Let me pop it in. There we are. Can you say something, Anne, to check that I've got this working?
Are you working, friend?
Yes, that's fine. Good. I can hear you. That's okay then. So I'll put that up there. Right. Lovely. So this is the inside, so we won't see that when I put it on. So I can use this to fold over like that. Like that, yes. Okay. Now, I thought I put my glue up there. Oh, I did. It's here. I must have used it. Yes, of course, I used it on the tube, didn't I? Actually, I should be doing this side first to get this stuck down and then turn up the corners. See, I've already cut this down a bit from its original shape. I've just staggered the edges in a bit here and here and here and here and again here, because they have overlaps, as you saw before, where it was made into a box, but we don't need a box now. We just need a little bucket. Right, this one. This is a new pot of glue, so it's coming out a bit better than the older one was. I mean, I've tried things like adding acetone to it to make it flow a bit better. It doesn't seem to help all that much. In fact, when I put acetone in one of these, it just seemed to make it stiffer and stiffer and stiffer. So I thought, no, I've had enough of that. So pop this down to try and get it even. There we are. Right, that's better. Just make sure I've got the right side. Good, good, good. Now, cutting corners. I'm cutting it with a little edge, so I've got something to turn over. There. And I'll do the same here. Just a little edge there. Cut to the corner. A little edge there. Ditto here. And there, and to the corner. And ditto there. But this one will chop this way. And that way. And a little bit this way. There we are. Now all I've got to do is fold those over and they make the edges. I find actually when you only want a little bit of glue, it's a bit more difficult when you've got this big gloopy stuff to get it to be as little as you want. Getting a lot on isn't so hard. Getting a little on seems to be a bit more of a job. Yeah, balance there for the bit, dear. Fold it over. Fold it over. Fold it over. That's a little tight there. That corner. I didn't quite snip that so well. There we are. That's better. Do the same here. A little bit under the edge where it didn't seem to want to glue right to the edge. Stay. That edge down. That edge down. Now I'm using one piece, but you could quite easily use lots of pieces, like in collage, you know, when you're collaging on a piece. You can just use torn bits to put it all together. But I thought this would be a bit quicker using one piece. So, yeah, going to look a bit better. Let me see what that looks like that side. That's not too bad at all, you know. I'm going to stick that down anyway then. Right. Best thing to do is put this in a jug or a jar or a coffee cup, but I don't really want to do that because my tea's in my mug. Oh, jam jar would do, but all my jam jars are used for water. Right, same idea with this end. So we want a sharp bit there, and I'm going to cut this down like so, and a sharp bit there. Cut that down like so, just to be able to move that over. And angle that piece. I do like to angle these corners because you can always cover the inside with something. In fact, I've done that before with what we call color catchers. I don't know if you have those in the US, but you certainly do have tumble dryer sheets. Yeah, not that I've ever used those, but then I just like the other ones, the color catchers, because they're nice and simple.
We have color catchers in the US.
I like them because they catch the color in the washing machine, and sometimes you get a really nice color if you're washing something new that's a nice purple or blue or something. But also because if they don't catch enough color, you can then get them out and spray them, and they take it up beautifully, really, really beautifully.
That's fabulous, Fran.
So what are you doing at the moment, Anne? Are you doing something interesting?
I'm on an archaeological dig of a great big bin of painty papers.
Oh,
them under control. It's like a time capsule, really.
Yeah. Well, this is very old stuff. This for me, stuff I did quite a while ago. I'd forgotten all about it.
And then you found it.
And then I found it, and I thought that would be good to cover those things. So,
what will you use them for? Do you have a plan or not?
Oh, for this, that's going to turn into a pocket. That like that, you see.
Ah.
And you can either have it like that and attach it there, or you can tuck it in and have it a bit taller if you wanted to. So I'm going to stick that down. It'll be easier to see once I've got it all stuck down. That's the idea anyway, because I've made pockets out of these. Oh my goodness, look at that glue on there. I've made pockets out of these before. And I quite like being able to put eyelets down here on both sides and then stringing a ribbon through and tying it at the top. It looks really great when you do that.
And sturdy. It'll be very sturdy.
Well, I've got one over on the mantelpiece. I can get it down and show you in a minute. Just want to start this glued down. Yeah. Oh, hi, Paula. Hi, Trish. People popping in.
Oh, yes. Everyone remember to thumbs up now.
You see, I don't see people all the time because I'm so intent on what I'm doing down here that I don't look up there. And especially if it's up high so you lot can see. I can't see the top screen at all. So I'm trying to keep it where I can see it. There we are. So that's that side all done. Then I can put things on there as well. I'll get the other one so I can show you what it looks like. Just taking my headphones off for a second so I can move more than a foot away. I'll bring all four of them over so you can see what I've done with different ones. See, there's one that I did. Let me put my headphones back on so I can hear. There we are. So that one was done with a special die that only cuts out the holes. Most dies will cut out the holes and cut around the thing as well. And I didn't want that. So these are Tim Holtz ones that only do that. I think he called them a negative die or something like that, because they cut the negative space out only. And I really like that. So I've done a few of those. And I also used a stencil that came with it to make that part. And then there's another one, the negative die and the stencil. And you can see that in this one, I put one of those color catcher sheets inside. That's what that is, the beautiful red color, because I added more dye to it. Okay.
Ooh, that's a good red.
This one isn't a color catcher sheet. This is tissue that was mopping up color with. That's all that is. It's rather good, I thought. And then this one has also got a color catcher sheet in it. Slightly bigger one. So with this one, I simply masked this area off with another piece of card. So it cut this and cut this piece of card, but not through here. And then I made a slit there so that I can fold that over and poke that in. But originally, these were tomato boxes. And the one I did with the putting the eyelets in is this one. It's made out of the same as this, you see? You can see that it's the same size. But in this one, I put edges. You know, I didn't leave it straight. I did it so that it would open up a bit more. So as to, you know, that would fold like that, that would fold like that, and then fold over there like that. So it leaves a gap. But if you use the lacing like that, it doesn't matter. It's just a decorative feature. So there you go. So there's that one stuck down. Now I've got to think what I'm going to do with this one. So I could do that. I could put it in like that, or I could put it like that. I think that is a better idea, because if you want to get things inside, there's nothing, no ridge down near the bottom to catch things. I might do that. And then I can do that or that, or fold an edge there and put it there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'll do. This one was folded inside. You can see that edge has been folded in. So I think I will put a line down there. I did have one of those. Oh, it's in the other room, isn't it? Yes, one of those things that scoring board. That's the word. But I don't seem to have one here, so I'll just get a ruler and just make an area for a crease. Not very far from there, about the same area there. And then all I've got to do is bend that up on the same line as I've just drawn, like that, so that now it's folded over and got an edge. Same with this one. And I just want to catch that little corner which is folding over, which I didn't trim properly. Yeah. And same with this end piece here. There we are. And if I keep that back a bit, I've got a nice gap to put something over, you see? And if you don't stick it down, it means that when you unlace it, you can undo it completely. So it's not secure. I mean, it's secure because of the what's-it-ing. So we can do that. Thing is, what colour will I use? Now, you can use fancy things like that if you want to. I like the purple. I'm not shape or the little bear shape or whatever it's supposed to be. Or you can use those big ones that I've used before, like that one. Nice big fat ones. I've got quite a few of those. Or you can use things like these ones. I think these are going to go quite well with that colour. Let's see. So where am I going to put them? Now that's the other thing. You've got to mark where you're going to put them. And on this one I did 5, 6. So it's probably a good idea to just copy the layout of that. You can do it by eye or you can measure. I'm not great at measuring, as you probably guessed, but I can certainly put a hole in there. Now then, we want the big one or the little one. I think we want the big one. Yes, we want the big one. So let's put a big hole in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we can use the position of these to line up these. Or you can go and make yourself a template and then just go through it like that. And then just run about the same distance. There we go. I could just do it without that. It's just too awkward. But you could do if you've got time. Right, that doesn't look too bad from that one. So what I'll do is I'll cut all these out. See, if you want, you can line up your paper edge with this edge or with any of the marks along the bottom of here. But I'm lining it up with that because I noticed that's about where I've got it. More or less. So we've got one lined up, one potato, and then all I need to do is draw the holes like that and cut the rest. And that should be about right. Not too bad at all. There we go. So all we've got to do now is find something to put in there, but I haven't got any ribbon here. I think I've got some somewhere upstairs. So what I'll do is I'll tie this with a bit of string so that I can see how it's going to go. And what great luck or planning. It comes all the way through and ties there. So I just make another piece about the same length. Well, the rest of it the same length. You don't cut it off. Cut it about there, because it doesn't matter if it's a bit longer. You can always trim it down, but it won't work if it's short. So this one goes over the top like that, and underneath and up through this hole, and over the top and down through that one.
Fran, do you line the inside of that, or is it going to stay the brown?
You can line the inside very easily.
Before
I've
you
done that wrong.
it shut.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as I say, it's only a piece of string just to see how it looks.
Ah.
So down below. And underneath. Like that. So now I can just squidge this through a bit more. So that there we are, you can see how it's going to look. Now, and I can either put that there or poke that underneath, depending on what I want to do with it. If I loosen these off again, I can put it underneath. There you go.
Best looking tomato box I've ever seen.
It's not bad, is it? It's not a bad idea.
Fabulous idea. Sadly, we don't get cool tomato boxes here, though.
Well, as I say, you don't need to use a tomato box. You can just use a bit of A4 card or just cut something down to the right size. As long as you've got something you can fold over. I mean, I've got an old piece of packing paper here. You could do the same thing out of packing paper. Put some extra stiffener along the edges where you're going to be cutting holes, and you should be just fine. I mean, if you're collaging over the top, it's going to get stiffer anyway, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to put something on the inside, it can be anything you like. So let's undo these. Now we know it works. So there's the piece of string. So you can cover the inside however you like. This is a lovely piece of paper, but I don't think it's quite the right size. So you don't need to cover these bits because they'll never be seen until you open it out. So you can just get away with covering just that inside piece there, up to there. Or the inside piece up to there. But you can see there's a bit of a hole there, so perhaps not that one. What else have we got? There are other things. This was quite nice. These were some test papers. When I was first doing gel plating, I was testing different papers to see what happened. And this was a kind of baking sheet that comes on a roll, but with brown paper on one side and your tin foily stuff on the other side. And it stamped on it quite well from the gel plate, really quite well. So that's a possibility. And that's my peacock stamp. There's the peacock with his tail. So that could do with a little bit of putting his eyes back in and his little head plume. But that would work as well. You could put that there. But I've also got this one. I've got lots, actually. I've got a box full of them. And I've got loads behind me as well that are just waiting for a job to do. But you remember I was doing some stamping and spraying the other day? Well, I've got the pieces from that in my hand here. Just a second. There we are. So I've got that bit, which was from trying out the different magicals, and then I sprayed over the top to make a more uniform thing. That's the bit of rusting powder I put into glue. And there's this one that I did the stamping on, so you could always use that. That would look rather nice inside, I think. That might look really nice. Yeah, could well. Or, anybody got any preferences? I got that That would be a nice inner. You'd see bits of it, and it's a repeating pattern, so it wouldn't lose anything. That is lovely. That's really nice. And
Ooh,
I'm not sure about that. I want to do more to it. Sorry?
The tealy one, that one is gorgeous. I'm pointing at my screen like you can see my finger.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Tealy one. Or that one, which I quite like as well. This one is quite good too, if you want a different colour.
Oh, yeah.
That's quite nice. That's got a lovely bit of rich red there. Sure about those. This one might work. It's quite nice. And this is the other sheet that I did where I had a bit of this fluorescent green yellow and stamped on it the other day. That would look quite good in there as well. That might work really rather well. In fact, there's enough of it that I could actually cover the whole of the inside, so you would see it opened out in all in one. What do you think?
Very true.
Any votes?
Paula says, ooh, they were liking the teal blue, but now we got an ooh on that one. Is there enough green to maybe cut a tag or something that would go in that pocket?
This one?
Yeah.
Well, it's tissue, so it's quite thin. You'd need to put it on something to make a tag. Well, on a tag.
Lexi is here for a pretty paper fix.
Oh. For your pretty paper fix. Well, there you are. That one's quite nice. And again, that one would just about cover, almost cover. But the other one would cover a bit better. This one's a little taller, so it would cover a bit better. That one might cover. Just. It would cover to the edges anyway. And this one is on watercolor paper actually, so it's really pretty stiff. I'm not so sure about that one being that stiff. I mean, it's a lovely color and all. If I had that on tissue, it would be better. But I'm leaning towards this one or this one. Okay, there's a choice. Which one do you think? The one with dream on or the tealy silver one? Waiting for a vote.
Yes, we're waiting for the results to come in.
Yeah.
The early precincts haven't reported yet. Okay, we have three teals, one dream. I think teal's ahead. Oh, now I got another
teal. Yeah.
Almost tied. Oh, another teal. Teal's just pulled ahead. We're waiting for a hand.
See, I think if we do teal, it's only going to go over this center piece, not over that, because I don't think I can get it that far. I might.
There you go.
Yeah, I could. So I could get it over there.
One.
Teal is one. Okay, we'll go with teal. There we go.
Voting is now closed.
Yeah, voting is now closed. Hi, Maxie. Hi, Lexi. Who's Maxie? Okay. Hi, Jamie. I think I've got everybody anyway, haven't I? Yes. Okay. So this one. We can use the dream and another one. Don't worry. We've got lots of tomato boxes. So I'm going to put it down like that. I'm not going to cover this piece because you won't see it anyway. And that way I can get it up to the top and cut it on the center. So yeah. So I will stick it down mostly and then trim this piece here to fit. Then I can cut the holes again. Right.
You asked who Maxie is. Maxie is Miriam's son that helps her so much. And he's an artist too.
Oh, right. Oh, hi, Maxie, Miriam's son. I didn't know. teal blue. That's it. That's the teal blue one.
Now you know.
Yeah. Ooh, got a bubbly bit. So let's put the goo down. I'm only doing it to the edge. I find that the glue dries quite fast. When I'm doing book covers and things, I find that it's easier to do it in sections. So I'm just going to do here. Like that. And then I'll do that bit, and then I'll do that bit. So remind me which order I'm doing it in. Let me get these out of the way before they get daubed with glue. Turn that back upside down again. Now I've daubed a bit too much glue on there, so I'm just going to wipe that off. That'll be okay. Right, so you can see that I've got to cut through those holes again, but that's not a problem. So now we're going to do this piece to get it up to there, and I'm just going to snip along this edge, flush with here, like this. There we go. And then pop it on there. So I'm going to cut along this edge. I'm going to stick it down first. I think that's going to be better. Make for a neater edge at least. I've got a big blob of glue there that came off the end of the nozzle. So I've got going to have a lump underneath. There we go. Right. Right, that's that. And now I've got to clip this. And this. There we go. Same with this side. Neaten it off. I'll probably have to redo this one because I'm doing it with the scissors at the wrong angle. Doing it this side, you get a clear cut. Doing it that side, you've got an edge. So I'll go over it with the fancy scissors to get it a little bit closer. If I could get the scissors the other way around, cutting that way, it'd be neater. But I can't. I don't have those sort of scissors. That's not too bad. I'm going to trim it here while I've got the chance. and along here. Down there. And along here, this one won't be so good. But with the little scissors, you get in a bit better. So it's just this piece here. I need to trim that edge. The other way to do it, of course, is to grab your grab. What have I got under here? No. I don't know what I've done with it. Grab your cutting mat, I was going to say, but sans cutting mat. Let's stick it down. I tried to slide it underneath to catch the bits that didn't quite get to the edge there. There we go. Try to get the glue as close to the hole as I can without putting it through the hole, if I can manage to do that. Because that will mean I will get a better edge. Oh, I didn't manage to do it there, did I? Better edge, because it will be stuck down to where the hole begins. I'm just cack-handed with this, I'm afraid. Now, smooth it down that way. And then we can go along here. Now this is the right way round, so I can get a nice neat edge. If I was doing it on the other side, I'd be cutting it from that way to get a nice neat edge. There we go. So this way should be stuck down by now, and I should be able to cut those holes again. So let's do that. Oh. Great thing about this is you can see the, and you can pop it into the hole and make sure it's well aligned before you start. So I know that's well aligned because it was only a very thin cut. It didn't go through card again. So there we go, we've got one, and we just continue with the others.
Fran, Miriam says you're making a deep pocket so that you can claim you have deep pockets.
Oh, yeah.
So if anyone says, how can you afford that? You can say, I have deep pockets.
Uh-huh. There we go. All cut. Now I just have to do the same on this side. And I'm done. You could also, I think on one of them once, I put some holes in here as well so that I was able to attach it to that, but I can't remember how I did that. I don't think it worked that well, so perhaps not. There we go. It's done. And if it's a little bit ragged, you can always trim it with one of those pairs of little tiny scissors I was just using. Little teeny weenies, just snip off that ragged bit and snip off that ragged bit. It's only because it's a bit wet. If I'd waited longer, it would have cut more cleanly. But I was anxious to get it done, you see. Right. So now we have an inside and outside pocket. So I think what we really need is something to go with that. And I shall have to look somewhere. I've got a load of ribbons and things. I've got some here, but they are not really in the right shade. And I know in a box in the other room, in one of the boxes, there was a whole load of ribbons, more like these sort of colours. And I think I need these sort of bluey colours, that range to go with these bluey greeny colours. Yeah. That is what I think. So there's that, and you can then decorate it with anything you like. And I think I will now put a line across there so that I can bend this a bit better. So where's my ruler gone? I had a ruler a while ago. Anybody remember where I put the ruler? No, neither can I. Oh, there it is. It's right in front of me. It's always right in front of me and I just don't see it. So I'm going to put it there. Not so bad. I think that's going to turn out quite nice. Now you have to think, are you going to put anything on this side or anything on this side or even anything on here? And I mean, if you're not going to fold it there, but you're going to fold it there, then you want another one you can fold it down into, like there. So that you can have it already closed or partly closed and simply bend that piece in. There you go. No, I haven't, have I? Well, what did Paula say? You never frottage, don't you? I used to do brass rubbings as frottage, isn't it? In a local church. I like the idea of putting something down here. But then I'm going to have something here. Now, which one am I going to put on? Let's put those in anyway.
Do you have a specific plan for this pocket, or is it just going in the pocket treasury?
It's going in with this. This is going to be the journal part. Yeah. And I think I might get rid of these because they're a bit bulky and they're off center from each other. And I think I want to put something else there, something different. I don't mind leaving the bit of the card in there, the handle in there, that's fine. So what I'll do is I'll chop these off so that they stay as a sort of stiffener in there. But they're not in my way with what I might want to do on the outside. There we are, there's one. I can always put them back on in a different position with something else, or use them in a different way entirely. Let's get the bigger ones, it's easier. Yeah. got rid of those two. I think they're just in my way, those. I prefer it without. So I'm going to put the eyelets in here first before I finish and go on to something else. And I think with the gold bit there, I think I might go for the gold ones. I don't often use the gold ones. In fact, I'm almost always reverting to copper. So it's an opportunity to use the gold ones, of which by now I've got more. 1, 2, or even the silver ones. 3. 9, 10, 11, 12. Just hope none of them goes doodah as I'm trying to put them in. But there's more in the packet, so it's not a problem. I'll just look over here and check. I don't want to use any of those. No, they're all the wide ones, those. Right. I'm a bit fiddly fingered. Not so good at doing small stuff. Trouble is, the small stuff is the stuff that seems to be more appealing to the eye. Now, slide it along. Oh, come on, I said that end.
Did you mute your mic, Fran, or are you just quiet?
I'm still here. I haven't done anything to my mic, no.
We can't
Can you hear me?
You. Or I can't.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? What was that?
Can you hear me? Yes, I can now, darling.
Good Lord, I heard that as well.
What was that? Yes,
this seems to be delayed. Seems to be delayed. It's weird.
Yes, this seems to be delayed.
Unmute. Maybe it's I haven't pushed it in properly. Is that better?
Yes. Much better.
Oh, good.
We might miss important instructions if you're muted.
There we are. Oh, that's better. I didn't have that on quite the right place. It needs to be right at the end so that it will go right through. And then make sure you've got this on a balanced area, not sort of 1 foot hanging over. And then I stand up and I go, when you hear the little click or feel the little click, you know you've done it right. Like that. Number 3. There we go. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. And then the same with the other side. That middle one didn't do it properly. In fact, most of them didn't do it properly. Let me do that again. That's better. Yes, they're all a bit loose. You've got to push them down enough for it to properly bend the underneath over. That's better. I can feel it's better on the other side. Should be only one to do. That one. That's why I like to stand up to put hold of my weight onto that arm, because it's not like squeezing it like that. It's like pushing it like that. There we are. Look at the other side. Have I done it in one? Yes, that's not so bad at all.
Fran, did you ever use a handheld grommet setter?
Yeah, one that you hammer.
No, that you
It's
just
not
push
so easy.
with your hands, like a plier.
No, I haven't got one of those.
Okay. I just wondered if that one was easier than the handheld one.
At least if I haven't used it for a while. No, this is definitely easier because, like I say, you can put the whole of your weight on there and just push down. You don't have to grip. And my grip isn't great. Whoop. It doesn't help if you drop them on the floor either.
No, not helpful.
Nope. Let's pick that one up off the floor. Come on, up you get. Cool, I'm hot. It's really muggy here at the moment. We've just had rain, a lot of rain today down in Torrance. And it was coming right into the overhang and down the drain. That's better. What I'd like to do with this is to just go over it with a hammer, because that will just neaten it off, make it less catchy. Look at the other side. Lovely. If you do this, please keep your fingers out of the way. That's better. So, there we have those done. Now, if I want to put this as a pocket in a journal, and this is going to be the journal, we've got to decide how we're going to do that. I mean, I know there are lots of videos on how to make a journal out of a bag, but I haven't had time to watch any. So I'm pretty much winging it. So if I can put that there like that, I need to be able to fold it. That can be the front, or it can be the other side. So you've got that one and that one. I don't know. What do you think? Because I can always use two. like that. I think that will actually be better like that, using 2, because then you've got an opening there, which will be covered up, and you've got, in fact, probably what I could do would be to sew along the top or put a line of glue along the top. Probably a line of glue would be a better idea to match with that. Yeah, perhaps. Let's get these handles out because I know I don't want those. And it's easier to manhandle it when you haven't got those in the way. So if I've got that like that, a reinforced spine. Yes, but where am I going to put the spine? I thought to a jewelry hammer, not metal. Not metal. What, like a leather one? You mean? Miriam? That kind of metal one? I mean, leather one. That would work as well, sure. Or you can have those weighted hammers that are plastic with weight lead shot or something in the head. You don't know what I'm making? Well, join the club. Neither do I. But it's meant to be a journal in the end, so we'll see how we get on. So if I'm going to do that, now either I'm going to put it there and have that, and that, and that, and that. Could have it like that. But then that sort of, no, I'm not keen on that. That's better to have it like that. But then it won't meet in the middle. But do I want it to meet in the middle? Not necessarily. Or I could put this one this way around and attach it there. And have that come down there. Not so keen on that. Not so keen on that. I think I prefer this way around with the 2 hefty bits in the middle, but I'm not sure whether to put it like that halfway. So you can fold it over like that, or put it right on top like that.
Question, does the bag still smell like McDonald's?
Oh, I don't know. Hang on. No. Thing is, this is the outer bag. Because I work with a stick, I always ask for a bag with a handle. So I get a bag with a handle for the food, and then the coffee goes in another bag in those trays, and they just fit inside another bag with a handle. So I've got 2 bags with handles on one hand, and the other hand I can hold my stick.
Ah.
So I always get these, and inside is the bag, and inside the bag are the boxes with the food. So it doesn't, if you're quick, it doesn't get a chance to soak through or anything. You don't get any greasy chip marks or anything.
And you get a bonus bag?
Yeah, you get 2 bags, see, because I've asked for them.
Hot dog.
Yay. Well, I don't eat hot dogs. I don't eat things with the with bread. So if they do it, I get a wrap, and I take the contents out of the wrap. So I get the chicken and the lettuce, and I give the dog the wrap. He's a big dog now. So, and if I want this in here as well, where am I going to put that? Probably put it somewhere like that, or have it so that it can go inside one of the flaps. So in which case I'd have to put the flaps together like that, glue them like that. Do you think that would work? And it might therefore be easier to make it a bit wider like that.
Paula suggests maybe lacing the middle, that middle part that you created.
Sorry, where?
The interior middle part, you know, where there was the extra flap. I think before you smelled it, it was there. I don't know.
Oh, lace the middle. Oh, I beg your pardon. Lace the middle. Yeah, maybe.
Like you did with the eyelets.
Yeah. Or you could maybe put a strap across, or 3 straps would look quite nice. 3 straps would look rather smart, I think.
Yeah.
Especially if you make them out of card, and then this side has a press stud on it. 3 press studs. That would look quite smart, I think. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. So I'm not going to be able to use this because it'd be closed off. I could use this as far as there. So I may as well just glue the 2 together there. Yeah, that's what I think I'll do. Okay, right, let's do it before we get all dithery. Too late. That's my favourite saying. Too late. It's usually after I've asked somebody to choose colours. And then while I'm waiting for somebody to come up with a colour choice, I'm sitting there thinking about it as well. And I think something before they say anything. Hot, hot, hot. I don't know what happened to the sound there for a while. I could hear me saying things and it was like really weird. Right, let's pop that down. Yes, and I want to re-secure this, which isn't that secure. And the other bit. Here. How long have we been going? About an hour, is it? An hour and 20 minutes?
1 hour and 17 minutes.
Right. So I think then that we're getting a bit close to the end. So let's decide what we're going to do and make a plan. Oh, I wanted to use this. I did think about doing it across here, but now that I've got those, I don't think I can. So maybe we can do it somewhere here. I think it's better as a decoration than as part of the strapping. I think the strapping's got to be card. I think that's what it's got to be. I think so. I think it's got to be card. It's got to be quite... Now this will probably be wobbly because I'm cutting it by hand. But ho-hum. I get that there and that there. So if I make 3 straps, so how broad do I want the straps? About that broad. Let's find the Uji flips again. Ruler. Let's do a bit of measuring. Let's be rash and measure things. I want it about 1 inch. Right. So that's one. Come on, stop messing about. So that's going to go across there, like that. Is it going to go across there like that? Or what? I reckon I want it about that far over. So I would put a stud in, I would put a flat, non-removable type stud there, and a press stud this side. So I'd need another piece here. So I'm going to need two at least. Did I take it off that one or off that one? I took it off that one, didn't I? Oh, and that one. And I think it might be an idea to do these with some rust. Some of that rust powder. And some copper cattail brown spray, I think, as well. I think that would be nice. So that one's flat. These two need to be stuck down. There we go. Well, I haven't done it yet, Paula. I'm only thinking. Did you see my message, Paula, in Messenger? I never imagined peeling and cutting carrots for a dog. What? Wow. I mean, my dog will eat carrots, but only because he's hoping there's going to be a bit of meat with it.
No, my daughter's dog has become accustomed to getting carrots after her dinner.
Yeah, they're daft, aren't they?
A few times. So now, every dinner, I have to make sure there are carrots for the dog. Or
aren't we daft?
And he pouts very dramatically for a dog.
Yeah.
And he'll give you an evil eye, too.
Mm.
Very
yes. Yeah, my dog will sit outside the door because my husband doesn't like him drooling over his feet. So he always locks him out the door, shuts the door, and goes and sits in front of the TV in the other room and eats his food. So when he opens the door, the dog's there going, hey, is it for me? Is it for me? Do you say some for me? Have I got some? Yeah.
Yeah, we have a rule that when I take my daughter like lunch or something, I don't give the dog a treat. But if I go down without food, I give him a treat. So now if he sees a tray, he turns tail on me and walks away and sits down over there and stares at me.
Well, my dog, I have a recliner in here, so I eat my food on a recliner, unless we're eating in the kitchen together, which we do sometimes. Then we usually have a bottle of wine. But if we're in here, I'm in here, the dog's in here with me, and he sits and waits for me to finish eating because he's hoping that I'll have saved a bit for him. Now, my husband, if he's in the same room as my husband, the dog knows darn well that if he sits there and stares at him long enough, drooling on his feet, he'll give him some. So that's why he goes in the other room and doesn't let the dog in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do some little turned over bits like this. I'm going to do one on each side. And then I'm going to attach this one to one side and it will come down on the other. So these will be glued down here. One side of this will be secured with a stud of some sort, you know, a non-opening one, just secured with a flat top or something like that, which I've got quite a few somewhere over the rainbow. Don't know where. Somewhere I've got a tray of little pot of them.
Do you normally do the closure before doing the journal?
Well, I normally figure out how I'm going to close it because then you know what room to leave and what you've got left to decorate with. So I'm deciding where these are going, right? Like that. And deciding that this is going to go down there. But yes, I'll be decorating this before I put those on.
Okay.
So
yeah, I always get to the end and then go, now how do I close this thing? I haven't done that many journals, but the ones I do, I guess I'm doing backwards. I
used to do them like that. In fact, I probably still do. I don't know why I've suddenly decided to figure it out first. Yeah, that'll be the day.
Maybe because you had the idea.
Could be, yeah. Suddenly have the idea in the middle of planning something else. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. There we are. So there's the second one. I've got one more to do this side and then all the others on the other side. One more for that side. So they will go like that. So that gives a nice, because quite often when I'm doing this, particular things like Chicago screws, if I'm using paper, I've got to use the very, very smallest Chicago screw and it still is a bit too long. So when I'm doing this, I like to put a bit of a build up. There's some from the folded over, but it's only paper, so it's not very much of it. So I'd like to give it a bit of a build up. Also, it gives it a bit more firmness. Oh, so I've got I think that one's a bit small. Maybe not, maybe not. Might be. One more. Right, choppy choppy. So I now have the pieces I need, but I think I'm going to have to make that one a bit bigger. Looks off otherwise. I mean, it's nothing much. You won't see it, but Well, not all the time, but it'll be under there. So I'm not happy with that one being a little bit off the size. So I'll cut another one using that as a template. So there we go. And finally, there we go. Oh, am I still one short? I appear to be still one short. Okay, we'll cut one more. Thought I had another one. Never mind. So now we've got to decide what we're going to leave open and what I'm going to put things on. So they're going to go over like that. So yeah, if I hadn't, I might be able to put that on there. I don't know. We've got to decide what is going to go on here so that we can decide what's going to go on those. I was thinking a sort of copper cattail brown and the rust, but I don't want too much rust. So maybe wait until it's done to put the rust on. I think that's right, because this is going to go just on this bit, because this is slightly reinforced here, if you remember, from where the handles were. You see it's slightly reinforced here and here from where the handles were. So we've got a little bit of reinforcing there. That can go on there, and that one there, and that one on there. And those need to be glued down and glued together. So we can glue them together. And then we can still open this to get something in there and close it. Ditto with this half. The same idea. So I might need to do a sort of a row of glue at the end, or I'm thinking about that because I can open that and that gives it some sturdiness. Where did I put that clip? There it is. So I'm going to put these together with a clip across there. They'll probably stick to each other too much, but at least it means they'll be flat. So when I do this one, I can add that to the pile. Like that. Try to get rid of the excess glue on my fingers. There's the one I dropped on the floor. I do like the idea of different shapes on journals. So we've got squares here, quite a bit of square ideas. It would be nice to use something round, which is what I was thinking when I got that. So I might be able to put that there or on the front, if that's the front, you know, on one of the other edges. But I do like the idea of a an intersprinkling of squares and circles. So it's not all square. Or come to that, all circles. How many more we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, join in. Let me get the glue to come out. It always seems to come out just as much you don't want it on the edges and not as much up to the edges where you do want it. But this stuff, you can smear it off with your fingers and rub your fingers together to get it off your fingers. And hopefully that will mean there won't be too much coming out to stick these all together. So I've got 5. I need one more. I did have one more. There we are. There it is. Yep. What are you all reading at the moment? Having dinner. Heidi received her tomato as we speak. Yes. Now, my dog will eat any kind of meat, no problem at all. If we happen to be eating a burger, or my husband does rather, then there's lettuce, cheese, tomato, sometimes a bit of cucumber, and like you say, a bit of carrot, maybe something like that if there's coleslaw involved. And yes, he will wait for those pieces. But if a bit of carrot falls down, yeah, he'll have that. Bit of red pepper, yeah, he'll have that, hoping that the meat's going to come along soon. You drop a bit of lettuce, he'll go and sniff it, and then sort of look at you, as if to say, you have got to be kidding me. I mean, enough is enough. Lettuce, no, where's the meat? I swear that's what he's saying. So that's now stuck together there. Those bits are stuck down. Now we have these and these. Yeah, all ready. So now we've got to decide what we're going to put on here. I think I'm going to have to stop now because I think I'm going to have to need to go and raid my piles of painted, sprayed or gel printed sheets, because I don't think I've got enough variety at the moment, and I want something with a bit more variety for this. And I've got to figure out whether I'm going to put it like that or a little further apart. I can't put it much further apart because I want these. Let me get rid of that excess glue again. I want these to be a decent distance from the edge. You know, they've got to be equal going across. But I can sort of cut this down a bit by slitting there and bending that back and making a better edge. But I can only do it a very small amount. Otherwise, if I take it back, say, that much, and try to do the same here, to take that back about the same amount, that much, you know, all the way down, then I've only got a little bit to sit on there. It should just about work on that much, but any more is going to be too much. But I do like that, leaving a nice exposure there. So that will need to be done separately though, because if I'm putting this down like that, I'm going to have to do it all the way round so that there isn't a bit standing up. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to do that folding over all the way around here so that all of it is folded over a bit to give a nice firm edge. Or the other option, of course, is to use some other paper, not this, but something like that, and merely use that as a extra edge so that it will look like that, something like that. And the same on the other side. You see, putting an edge there. And then we put this either side like that.
Ooh, that looks nice.
And then put that over it. So you've just got enough to do that. That way, you've still got a good bit of balance. You've got the small gap, and you don't have to fiddle about trying to fold this over in. And it just gives a nice little edging, so that you know that there's a gap there. You know. So that's what I was thinking. And perhaps something like, if I had some more of this, I know I've got more of this sort of thing, because I liked this combination when I was doing it on the gel plate so much that I went back and used the same greens and the copper again to make a few more sheets of it. So luckily I have got more of this hanging about. So I could do that as an edge. Come on, open out. So I can have it sitting over the edge like that to make a nice neat little edge. What do you think? I think I like that, but I think I like it with a bit more of the green to be able to see. It's like a patina when it's like that, like a green patina. So that could work quite well. I must try and find some more of that in the other room. So the plan is, let's make a few notes. So if we don't have more copper with green, copper plus green, more copper and green, or make more. Okay, so that's that. Then we need to do cover outside of journal. So we need to do that before we put the straps on.
Fran, do you put the pieces that you've already made in your notes all together in a container of some sort?
It's the first time I've made notes. I normally rely on Violet to make notes. Because I normally say what I might do and then forget all about that. And the next time I come round, I've got an entirely different plan. That may still happen, but I still think we need to do this in a certain order. So perhaps we'll keep this bit. Yeah, possibly. So that's what I'm going to do. So it's 8:45 now. So that's getting close to the 2 hours. And I want to save some time so that I don't run out near the end. Because I'm always doing that, running out. So that's the plan, folks. That's the plan. So that way I can have that sorted and I can open out. And I can then put other things in here. And I can then slit down here and have another opening. And I can have an opening here. Or even more, an opening there. And I maybe slit bits here and there. So we'll see how that builds. But that's the first idea, right? And then we've got to put something on here to make a decent background. Because we don't want to have McDonald's written all over it. Or Boots or whatever else it might be.
Yeah.
But there we are. That's what I'm doing. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. A buffet breed, yes. My dinner, my dog, or what Fran is doing. Yep. So we are about done now. We've got some ideas. I've still got that piece I was doing with the oh, here we are, assemblage. I was going to do some more of that, but I've done quite enough today, I think. So I've still got pieces to add to this. I'm thinking of that. And I've got that already done. I've got to colour that with something. Now it's got the white gesso on. I was thinking to put some foam clay underneath to give it some stability. and then perhaps pop it there. I do like the word solo, and I can cover up the other words there. And if I can get some more of these bottle tops, paint the inside so it's not showing the blue through, give it another coat there, and then perhaps spray it with something, I don't know, some copper or something. We'll see what happens with that. So, and I've also got things like these that I've already got hanging about without any colour on, so I can use some of those like that. So plenty to think about, plenty to do. And of course I've got to finish off this, so I've got somewhere to keep my extra magicals. I think what I might do is put a ring around here, you know, made with that or something, so that it comes to the top.
Could you cut another paper or kitchen towel roll and add it to the top?
I don't think I need to. I think I only need a ridge like that, an extra piece like that, just to come to the top of where the last jar is.
Mm-hmm.
So if I cut that along like something like that and put that on, and then I can make a lid to go on the top over the top of that, you see, and then I can cover this as well to make it meet this, so it'll be nice and neat, and I can probably do collage or something over it. So okie dokie, so that's what I've got in front of me to go, and then I've got to think of what I'm going to put inside here, because I've decided what I'm making and where it's going in here somewhere, so then I've got to decide what's going inside there. Okie dokie. Put a window strip in.
Oh, so you can see
where?
The tube. I get it.
Oh, the tube.
Yeah.
Could do, but it's a little flimsy already. I'm a bit uncertain about that. I would put a window strip in here, no problem, but that might be a bit too flimsy to do that. It might start falling apart a bit more. I'm quite happy putting them in there and just getting them out and going, oh yes, I've got these colours. Yeah. I can always put a little label all the way down so I know what's what. Can't I?
Yeah.
Can always put a label on there saying I've got so-and-so thingy, doodah, what's it, and oojamaflit. There you go. Okay, so that is it for today. We'll see you on Friday. I did want to ask Paula whether you saw my question in Messenger, and if you could send me an answer, please, pretty please. Okie dokie. You don't want to come on camera, do you, Anne?
No, I'm in the middle of a pile of paper.
Okay, okay. Well, we'll say bye-bye for now.
Goodbye.
This is the Mad saying bye-bye, bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, if you come back and look at the beginning, Susan, you'll see what was going in. Okay, here we go. We're going. I'm pressing the red buttons now.